Hello everyone, I'm Mayor Scott Madison of the City of Clinton, and welcome to the next edition of the Mayor Spotlight, where we're headed around town and we're looking at local businesses, local employers, local project sites, and we're just providing the most up-to-date and pertinent information to the citizens of Clinton. Today, I have the pleasure of being at Clinton High School with Superintendent Gary DeLacy. Thanks for doing this with me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, a lot of really cool things going on in the school district, and that's kind of why we wanted to come talk to you and get an update. Can you talk to us a little bit about just the start of the school year and maybe how it's gone and some challenges or some triumphs that you've had at the beginning here?
I think we're off to a good start. We're here at the end of the first week. You have your normal bumps in the road, and you're just trying to get people back into routine after they haven't been in school for about 11 weeks. So just getting some of those things ironed out. But I think there's genuine excitement. This is really the first time in about 18 months where there is a little bit of normalcy to school and the start of the school year. So overall, a really good start.
Yeah, I think, I know for me too, you say at the end of the school year that you're ready to be done, but when it's time to come back to school, I think a lot of kids are pretty pumped about that because they get to be around their friends and things like that.
Yeah, I think school's sort of unique because you have that 10 or 11 week off in the summer, and it does give you a chance to really have that restart, that first day, and you kind of relive that first day every year.
Yeah.
And it does allow people to reset. And one of the things it's amazing how some kids can really mature from May to August. Yeah. And it's like, wow, that kid is really grown up. He's really changed. And not just physically, but, emotionally, mentally, and those things. And it's kind of exciting. I mean, that's what you're in it for is to see growth in these young adults and moving forward. So, there's always excitement around the beginning of the school year. And like I said, I think it's just unique to our situation where a lot of people, if you work straight through every year, you don't get those new restarts.
Right. And I've got to work with you and your staff a little bit over the last 18 months. And I know you guys are always trying to change and grow and kind of progress as far as the curriculum side. I know you have one program in particular that's new, but talk to us a little bit about the kind of the changes that you're trying to make and the evolution that you're trying to make on the curriculum side.
Yeah. A big thing that we're trying to do this year is Portrait of a Graduate, and what we're really looking at, and you're on one of the committees looking at that, is what do we want a Clinton High School graduate to be able to do skill-wise when they walk across the stage? And so that is really a much different conversation than what we went through school. It was like, you need to get so many credits, you got to pass these classes. Pretty much we're all age 18, and that's when we graduate. Now what we're really talking about is what can you do, and possibly when you look at the domino effects is, can you have a 16 or 17-year-old showing proficiency in these skill areas, and they can move to the next step of their life and accelerate into post-secondary learning earlier if they can show that mastery. And maybe in some cases, some of them have to go a little longer than 18 to show what they need to be able to do. So I think the most important part will getting outside input. People from you, people in the community, we're still looking to make sure that we have a well-rounded group for the city of Clinton and the school district to really form that, because I think the domino effect will be, what is the portrait of an 8th grader? So what are the skills that someone finishing 8th grade going into high school to be successful? Portrait of a 5th grader. What should you expect of a 5th grader moving into middle school? So this is the first major step. We're excited about it, and I think it will open up some opportunities. I think one of the things we hear all the time is education has not progressed as fast as the workforce or the workplace. Sure. And this would be a step to try to move us closer in that direction.
You think technology is probably a huge factor in that? As things evolve?
And this is our first year of a true one-to-one in the district. Okay. So even down to kindergarten, there will be an assigned computer for each student in the district. Wow. So we're trying to, again, I think blending some of the new technology, but there's a lot more than just that. You got to think about being able to show creativity, critical thinking, working with in a cooperative setting. You see a lot of workplaces anymore. It's not a person in a cubicle. They actually have people seated together, and there's this give and take, creating those skill bases. But technology can be part of that too. To say, you know what, maybe we need to start doing projects, and you're working with some kids from Des Moines and Sioux City, and you get on and you're problem solving and doing things, and so the classroom expands more than this 20 to 25 kids.
Yeah, I think it's impressive to watch the district think outside the box like that. I know I was at the first meeting, and then there was an article in the paper and things about the porch of the graduate. And to me, as a resident of Clinton or graduate of Clinton High, it's just cool to see that there's people that are in the positions that care enough to say, hey, we got to evolve. We need to change. We need to make sure our kids are set up for the future, because the job market is changing. There's a lot of jobs out there that are not filled right now because people aren't trained. So there's a lot of changes, obviously, curriculum side. The Clinton Community College, just right down the street from us, got approved to do the CTE Center. How is that going to play into Clinton High and the curriculum for our students?
Well, I think it's going to be an awesome opportunity for our juniors and seniors to really get into career pathways that probably, in a lot of cases, will only require 18 to maybe 2 years beyond high school, and they can actually start that path during their high school years and get credentialed. So whether it's welding, whether it's advanced manufacturing, whether it's auto, I think health services, culinary, they even got education, which actually with the shortage of teachers, just going to provide an opportunity, and now being able to pull not just the resources of Clinton Community College, but the high schools on this side of the county, Clinton, Comanche, Northeast, and Eastern Valley have all committed to come to this center. We're committing 150 juniors and seniors to this facility to really hone in on these pathways. And I think one of the things we need to really be able to communicate is it's okay not to think that you have to go to a 4-year college, that there's a lot of great careers that you don't need a 4-year college. When you think about student loan debt now, a lot of this makes sense.
And I think there's a lot of industry partners around the community that are involved in the programming of the CTE Center too.
And we're going to need them to really get on those advisory boards, give us guidance. What does the workforce need, and how does that evolve with the needs of the community?
Awesome. So the folks probably can hear the construction in the background, which I think is the most exciting part of what's going on in the district right now. So it's August 27th. What's the update on the renovations in the new school?
Well, the update right now is if you drive by, it's probably not too exciting. You're just seeing a lot of dirt being pushed around. A lot of it is they're doing all the groundwork. The sewer's in place. They're now putting in foundation pieces. We do believe it by mid-September, you're going to actually start seeing the building going up.
Good.
So I think when people start seeing that, they'll get excited. We are still targeting for that 3-story academic building to be opened up right after Christmas break. December 22 or January 23. So
good.
You know, what you're looking at, 16 months from now, we'll be making that transition.
That's exciting. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this, and I'd like to come back here in a few months and keep doing another update on what you guys got going on, and especially the progress on the school. So absolutely, and we're glad to be. I think the city is being very progressive with your leadership and leadership of other organizations, and the school is just trying to be a partner in that. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. You bet. All right. Thank you. That ends this episode of the Mayor Spotlight. Remember, all the episodes are brought to you in conjunction with the Clinton Area Chamber of Commerce and the Clinton Regional Development Corporation. If you're not a member of those organizations, please reach out because they have some great resources for local businesses. Thank you, and we'll see you next time on the Mayor Spotlight.